Hello, Star Wars and unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. And today we are kicking it old school with, or I keep saying kicking it old school a lot, but kicking it old school isn't what it used to mean. See, a lot of times people my age, when they say kicking old school, we're thinking, from collecting standpoint, we're thinking vintage. No, we're going back to 1999. We're going to party like it's 1999 with the Star Wars Episode 1 ammo wagon with Falumpaset. Ammo wagon with Falumpaset. Now, this is a trilingo or duolingo, I don't know if it's, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lingo card or box, but I do not believe it is of any excessive amount of rarity. This is 1999. I do not know if it includes the figures. I don't think it does. It's hard to. There are some. Well, it says Gungan Warrior, so maybe it does. We'll see. We will see. But episode 1, as everybody knows, was a highly advertised, highly marketed, and a way overly product-ridden a movie. There was so much product that it was borderline scary. And I always remember there's a story Steve Sansweet, famous collector, Guinness Book of World Record holder, tells about how when he first walked into Midnight Madness that they had for Toys R Us, which was about several weeks before the movie came out, and all the figures would be released at the same time. And he walked into Toys R Us, his local Toys R Us, and there was just aisle after aisle. I mean, huge. And people everywhere, and people just throwing everything under the sun into the cart. And he just took one look, and then he walked out. He was just overwhelmed, And I did the Midnight Madness. I do not believe this was a Midnight Madness. In fact, I know it's not because it has a KB toy sticker. And it was originally $24.99. I bought it on sale for $10. So you can tell you that, this was the fate of a lot of Star Wars toys. Yes, there were some rare ones. There were some produced less figures and some rarities that we still, people are still looking for today. But for the most part, Episode 1 was massively overproduced. They were expecting a bigger payout than they got. I don't think that they got no payout. I think that the marketing for the film did some good, but I also think that the divisiveness of whether the movie was good or not, I think was something that might have affected it. I'm not 100% sure if it did, though, to be honest with you. I think that the marketing, they were just trying to capitalize on a new Star Wars movie, first time in 16 years, and it was pretty intense what they did. I mean, literally every figure, almost every character you saw walk across the screen eventually got a figure. So that's pretty cool. But I did like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie was the battle scenes towards the end. I really did enjoy the battle droids versus the Gungans. I thought that was very well done. I thought it was incredibly well orchestrated and well done visually effect-wise, because it was pretty much all CGE effects. And while, yes, people argue live versus CG, and I understand that, I do feel that there was some otherworldly things that they did here that I thought was pretty cool. So I really enjoyed that they kind of created this kind of a vehicle / creature / playset type of thing. So enough talk. Let's open her up. Yeah, for those of you who don't remember KB Toy Hobby, that was a mall toy store. And you know what? They had some great Star Wars items in their day. In fact, I remember doing a lot of my Star Wars purchasing even as a kid. We went to our local mall. Well, we had a mall that wasn't so local. It was about a 25-minute drive from us, but we would go there, 35-minute drive, and we would go there, maybe maybe once a month, once every 2 months. And when all the original Star Wars movies were coming out, there was some great times there. And the only thing I regret is I remember going in there in 1984, 85, 86, around that time, and they had, by then, I wasn't old enough to have a job yet, but I had birthday money and things of that nature, and I just regret I should have just gone in there, because I was getting a little old. I was kind of growing out of it. But they had Star Wars figures dangling from the pegs from Return of the Jedi and Power of the Force with the coin, selling for $1 a piece on sale. Sometimes less than like 75 cents. And I just remember thinking to myself, I mean, looking back, I'm like, if I just gone in there with like a $50 gift I got from a relative just to walk in, I could have cleaned up, bought off, 20, 30, 40 figures and kept them in the box and sealed them up, and that would actually fund a lot of this collection. That is something that is very true. You can just see, look at how much those go for on eBay. Whoops. All right, so we got a couple of little things here. Let's get our. Okay, we got. It is a put together, but it's not a crazy put together. I'm just gonna quickly disassemble the bags here, so that it's easier to just pull things out and line them up. So we got our, looks like our little top of it. Keep careful, kids, when playing with knives and sharp objects. Be careful when you're doing this. It looks like we have the sides here. We have some connectors. That almost look like screws. This is not a very challenging thing to put together, but it is important to make sure. Looks like you have it looks like a staff. And it does look like it comes with a soldier. So that's good. Oh, we got our boomers. Misa no haba boomer. There's one of our boomers. And one of the other ones. We have our, now I'm curious if this is a full out figure or if it's just a, it is not a full figure. It's a warrior that is permanently, he's got no legs. He's permanently in the cart. He does have, his head does turn, ooh. It looks like he's got like an action feature on his arm. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll have to see. So he's got a little arm action feature. This one just seems to move independently. So he's got, it's sort of a figure. I'll just say it's part of the play feature. Another piece here. Yeah. Back in the day, it looks like what I'm really happy about is it does not seem to have any photos. It doesn't seem to have any stickers. I'm not a fan of stickers. As you've watched previous episodes, if I ever come across something where I have to put labels, I kind of ignore it. All right, a little bit disappointed in the Falumpaset here because he's really just a model. He has no leg articulation. He has no neck articulation. He's basically just a static thing. He's a hard plastic, except for his snout. His snout has a little rubbery take to it. He does stand perfectly fine. And then we have our main unit here. I guess this is part of it. Okay. And lastly, but not leastly, we have the wheel. And I thought there were two wheels. Oh yeah, there are. There are. Or at least, I'll have to look. Yeah, it looks like the wheels like kind of go on either side. It was packed together like this, so I thought they were missing one. All right. And one of my favorite things that the old toys came with, a little catalog, just kind of like the vintage days, showing you other things that you can collect. Okay, yeah, they're figures. Nice little poses of the figures. Then they had, then they started going into Power of the Force, or Power of the Power of the Force, but with the dark green instead of the orange. Then they started talking about the collector series, the 12-inch figures, some fighting figures, the Eope, the Sea Killer, Maul on his little speeder, the pod racing, some play action features like the lightsabers, along with the more delicate Queen Amidala dolls. And of course, Tiger Electronics had a lot of their little play sets. I have since parted ways with most of these, not because I'm not a big fan. It's basically just those, very easy, very simple little dot going across the screen thing. They really weren't all that fun. And then these 3D puzzles, like they had an R2 one. I think I did the R2 in a Star Destroyer. Then a Episode 1 Monopoly, Jabba Glob, Jabba with his glob, that's disgusting. Art of Star Wars Aerograph Art of Star Wars Aerograph. Yeah, this is multilingual, and of course the Battle Droid fighters. So pretty cool. All right, let's get this baby together. Doesn't seem too tough. You have your piece like this. There's like a piece going through. Okay, so what do we do here? We have this. Part of this I'm going to look at the box because I think the box is half the battle here. We can get this thing to understand how this works. Yep, all right, so we got this. Then we put our, I think we just line these things up. So you do one. You got your, all right, so I got my wheel here. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the thing the right way. And then you have kind of lines up like that, and then you have this little screw that kind of locks it in. Sort of locks it in. I don't know, maybe. Then you got the other side. Oh, I see. All right, so you have this other side, then you do the same thing with this one. And then these kind of go together, and you get them so that they click together, and then it's locked in. Clever. All right, and hopefully I did it right. I think I did. Okay. All right, once we've done that, then we got our, looks like this guy kind of sits on the side of this. This is very strange. This is very strange. All right, so we got our Eopie. Oh, I see. Okay, so then you. Okay, I got my thing here. Then I have to put this baby over here. And this kind of locks in here. Ah, the good old days of putting together. The thing you had to be careful of, though, is that if it didn't work, it could be relatively guess what? I did it wrong. Oh well. But okay. Thankfully, they don't lock permanently in the bad place because I think that they are very much aware. In fact, I remember the old days of Kenner that there were, in fact, some serious things you had to be careful of because if you did it wrong, there were some permanent side effects that you couldn't fix. You know, once it happened, which was kind of a pain, really, when you think about how much you pay for these things. There were certain things that if you did them wrong, you did them wrong. I mean, I think maybe you could call customer service and get back a... There we go. All right. Now we're back. Now we're in business. Okay. Whew. All right, and then that locks in. There we go. Oops, sorry about my mic. Excuse me. Okay, good. Then I got this piece here. It's like the cannon. Kind of locks. That sounds like one. When you hear a really strong snap, you know that there's definitely going to be an issue there if it doesn't come back. And I think this just kind of, I guess it just kind of hangs there. And then this guy plugs in here. Now it's interesting, so the cart has these little things you can, plug in. So the cart is independent, and the Falumpaset's independent, and you just rest it on top. Now it can still, I don't think this thing really can pull. There's no other saddle or anything, so it's really just a posed piece. A couple more things you want to do. You obviously have your little boomer that you can plug in here, and then you can launch it, which I'm not going to do because one time I did that and actually shut the camera off. And then on the back, remember this? You can actually store the other boomer there. That's good. So I wish I had a few more boomers, or even just the ones that rolled, you know. And then you give Mr. Gungan Warrior here spear or whatever. And there's a little feature where if you turn this little dial right here, yeah, charge! Lisa, charge! Okay, cute little play feature. And then you line it up like that. Lisa, charge! And then you can launch. Cool. All right, so it works like a charm. All right. So there it is. There is your ammo wagon with a little piece of ammo in the back there. Free roaming, so it can roll. And it's a little Falumpaset and it's a little permanently attached Gungan warrior. I think you can also set it up. I don't know if this works. It looks like you can store it like that. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like you can just leave it, kind of store it in the thing. And I don't know if this means that he can actually, like, move it up and down. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to keep it stored there so it doesn't fall off. All right, so pretty cool. Nice little playset. The only, I kind of call it a playset. It's hard to call it a vehicle because, for one thing, unless I'm missing something, I don't see how this thing attaches. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Just making sure here. Let me check something. No, I don't think it attaches. It just rests on top of it. There really isn't anything to attach to it. So, you know, I'm holding my finger, my index finger's holding. If I let it go, this thing just comes right off. So that's a little bit of a complaint. You know, it'd be nice if it could permanently, you know, saddle to it so that it would just be one unit. But, because you can't even, if I tried to pull this thing. Oh, it does work if I just kind of pull it along, you know. Can't really see that, but up here. It would work if I just pull it along. The weight of this holds enough. So that's cool. All right. Not quite sure why it's got such a grumpy face and why it's molded like that, but it is what it is. So pretty cool stuff. I'm going to put together a little display area where I can put a few of the episode 1 Gungan things to kind of set it all up. But all in all, great piece, great toy. I would like this to have connected, but you know, not a make or break for me. I don't know if you can still find these. I would definitely look around. I would imagine that you can get, you know, there's an affinity now. All the little kids that were around for episode 1 are now nostalgic for their childhood, so they may be trying to find these. So there may be a slight increase in price. But as I said, I paid about $10 for it in KB towards the end of KB's Toys' existence. And it's a cool piece. So I would say, you know, keep your eyes open, see what you can find. It's fun. And it is nice that it does come with a figure, so you don't have to add any other figures to it, even though the figure doesn't really move. But it is nice to kind of include it there. All right, so that'll do it for today's episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing. Be sure to check out all the videos, like and subscribe, hit the notification, all that other jazz. And if you want to support the show, in addition to liking and subscribing, if you want to support any further, check out my TeePublic store for items like this really cool, awesome t-shirt, and other items like magnets, pins, that kind of thing. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.